We should have done like an intro. Should we do an intro?
We just roll with it.
We just roll with it straight into it. All right. Well, anyways, this is A-Town Talk with Charisma and Booby. I am Charisma, aka Jonny. This is Raul, aka Booby. Yeah, we've been wanting to do this for fucking forever, and we're finally here, and it's kind of nerve-wracking. There's like nobody here, but
yeah, it's just us. But yeah, it's still kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but it's good. It's good. We're here. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, we were gonna drink while we do it, but then we're both on our fit grind, and we decided not to anymore.
Yeah.
So
we're supposed to take a shot or have a few beers just to kind of relax, but we decided that we weren't going to do that. I guess we both somehow decided we were going to be sober.
Yeah.
This year, or I don't know. I didn't really like say it out loud to anybody. I just kind of told myself this year, was like, you know what? I'm going to try to cut down on drinking alcohol, beer, and even soda. I felt like this last year I felt really sluggish, and I felt like I wasn't at my best. And I feel like, you know, I really want to try something different, see how it goes. I don't know how long I'm going to last, but I'm at, what's today, the 12th day, so I'm at 12 days right now, man.
Damn. Well, you know what? I had cut up back from soda for like ever, and I usually just drink water. I got my water bottle down here. Stay hydrated.
I think I brought my one. Yeah. Water.
Yeah. And but like this last week, like I've been drinking soda, and I blame my dad because he buys soda. But I've been drinking Coke Zero, which is,
I mean,
it's better than
it's Coke, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's cool. It's cool we're here. We'll go back to when we talked about like when we first started, or we want this idea of a podcast like came to us back in high school when we were like in, was our senior junior? When do we have?
Yeah, I think it was senior year. We were just in class. We would not do anything in class.
Yeah.
Besides, I mean, we would just talk, literally just talk. And I think one time we just recorded ourselves for like 2 periods.
Yeah, we had MacBooks that the school issued us, and we'd kind of sit like this in class, and we set up the MacBook kind of like where the camera's at, and then we'd just record ourselves for 2 periods straight in Miss Burnside's class. Shout out Miss Burnside.
Miss Burnside.
Yeah, and we wouldn't do shit, and we would just talk about random stuff, and then we'd watch it, and then I don't know, delete it, and I don't know what we ended up doing. I kind of wish we had kept all that video, because that, and then the boxing videos we had from our backyard boxing days.
That's right.
That was cool.
We would do backyard boxing in one of our other friends' yard, in his backyard.
Jermix.
I would go get my boxing gloves, and just a whole group of guys, man. We would all just gather up, and just people would just pick who they want to fight, and we would throw down. I think we did it twice.
Yeah.
And they were recorded on our laptops. But all that stuff got deleted because they were school laptops, so we didn't keep anything from there. But that was fun. That's kind of where that idea came out. And then somehow Jonny here just got the ball rolling out of nowhere. Didn't even fucking tell me. He just asked me if I wanted to shoot a podcast.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's something I've always wanted to do. And like last year was a pretty rough year for me, and I was kind of like at this plateau in my life where I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. Like I have a full-time job that I still have, but it wasn't like satisfying. And actually I gotta thank my ex Val. Shout out Val. She's the one that put this idea in my head, because one day we were chilling, and actually it was right before I had a shift for work, and I was gonna go to work, and I didn't want to go. I would be like, fuck, like I don't want to go to work. And she's like, well, like, what do you want to do with your life? And we kind of just started having this talk, and I think she asked me something along the lines of like, what is something you've always wanted to do? And I was like, a podcast. And she's like, well, what is you gonna like do it? Like, look into it. Like, what is it gonna take? So I started looking into it, and then little by little, just getting equipment, and yeah, and here we are now. And I realized that there's still like a long way to go. Like our, you guys only see like this and like her makeshift curtain, but it's really just like the camera set on top of my bed, and then we're like in this little corner in my room. But
Yeah, Johnny's dad walked in here and thought we were making a porno. But we're that would have been cool too.
I mean, all else fails, we just started OnlyFans, right? And then we just do it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and so I guess he started getting the ball rolling on all that stuff. And I think you texted me, what was it, like 2 weeks ago, maybe last week? I don't remember, dude. I kind of lose track of my days with work, but
yeah.
He was just kind of like, hey, you want to shoot this podcast? And I was like, yeah, dude. Like, I didn't even think about it. It was just like, as soon as you asked me, it was like, hell yeah, like that's something, you know, that I've always wanted to do on the bucket list for sure. And yeah, it was the whole time we've been talking about this, we've been texting back and forth, and I just been pumped, dude. Like,
yeah,
ready to go. And we're here now, but and I'm like, I feel like I'm shaking, dude. I feel like it's cold in here.
Yeah,
but I think it's just because I'm nervous.
Yeah,
and
first time's always
the emotions, and it's awesome, man. It's badass.
Yeah, like, I didn't think you would do it, to be honest. Like, when I first like started telling you about it, and I kind of hope that you would, because we always have like really good conversations. We took a trip to where did we go? Artesia, New Mexico, to go see Jermaine graduate, and the whole ride, it was you, me, Val, and Jermaine's mom, and they ended up like sleeping the whole ride, and me and you just kind of stayed up, and we talked like the whole ride there, and it was like 3-hour drive. And it's not the first time that happens. We've gone on a couple of trips where we like talked the whole time. So I thought, like, you know, who else would be a good podcast host with me? And
yeah, and it's definitely a lot easier to do it in the car when you're just not being recorded, dude.
Yeah, there's no pressure.
Yeah, and I remember you brought it. I remember you. I think we were coming back, and you were talking about how you were gonna start it with Val, which is his ex-girlfriend. And,
Rip.
And I was like, man, fuck you, Val. Like, it's my idea, dude. I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I was just like, oh, that's cool. You know, just bring me on. I'd love to do it, you know, every now and then if you guys decide to go that way. But luckily you guys broke up. And you asked me to join. So kind of like the backup here.
Yeah.
So it's all good though. We're here. So.
I'm starting to think that you sabotaged my relationship. Like, it was you that.
Dude, I don't even know why you guys broke up.
We'll save that for another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too soon. But no, like it's podcasts are really cool. And the cool thing is, like, I've been telling people. At first I was kind of like, I'm embarrassed or scared, but it was kind of like, I didn't want to really tell anybody because I didn't know if I was going to like fully go through with it.
Yeah.
But now that it's like, you know, we got the channel up and everything is kind of like actually going through, started telling people, and everybody's like, oh, cool. Like, podcast, like, nice. And it kind of gives you like I don't know what it is about it. I think there's a difference between like a podcast and like telling people like, oh yeah, I'm like an influencer.
Yeah.
And they kind of see like, oh, you're just like an idiot or something.
Yeah. No, and I got a lot of positive feedback too, especially when when we put up on social media, Instagram, Facebook. A lot of people were like, wow, that's crazy. Like they're, you know, people were supportive. They're like, hey, let me know when your first episode comes out. We'd love to hear. We'd love to watch. And there was some of the other guys from work. They were asking. They were like, why don't you guys go live? And I'm like, dude, we can't go live because we're gonna get canceled. Some outrageous shit might be said, and we gotta, you know, kind of figure that out. Especially in the time that we're in, right? certain things aren't allowed to be said, and so yeah, I was like, nah, dude, we can't go live. I'm like, this is something where we have to, you know, make sure we're not being too fucking outrageous.
But I mean, I think little by little, like that, because like cancel culture was like a big thing, but I think it's slowly like going away. I think cancel culture itself is like getting canceled because you got like fucking Theo Von saying like some like outrageous shit.
Yeah,
and like he hasn't really been canceled, and I don't know. I think at this point, like, fuck it,
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean,
who's gonna cancel? We got nobody watching. Like, can't get canceled.
Hey, dude, I'm trying to go viral the first few minutes.
Yeah.
So,
No.
yeah, dude, it's good. We're here, man. I'm happy that we're here. Even I'm happy that I'm here, that I'm doing it with you, man, because I've known you since middle school. Really didn't become good friends till about high school, junior in high school. I remember.
Yeah, you were my bully.
Hold on, before you go and say that story.
You were my bully, dude.
I don't. Before he goes and say that story, just don't judge, because they're probably gonna go back to how me and Johnny met and how we started talking and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you want to go ahead and just air out my dirty laundry, dude.
Yeah. Well, I met you in middle school, like 7th, 6th grade. Where did you come from?
I moved here in the middle of 6th grade into Anthony, Texas. I was living in El Paso. I was going to Moorhead Middle School at the time. I was living at the government apartments, the Machuca apartments, shut out.
Projects?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
You didn't know that?
No, your hood?
Dude, I'm straight out there.
Oh shit.
So,
right.
I had been living there since I was like, I don't know, dude, maybe like 5, 6 years old, maybe.
Damn.
And then I ended up moving to Anthony. What are you in 6th grade? Like 11, 12. And yeah, it was 6th grade. So like half of the 6th grade is when I moved to Anthony.
Yeah, when you came in, you were just a cocky little shit, dude, from the get go. Like, I mean, you that's you. I mean, now now I'm cool with it because like I know you're harmless, but well, like in middle school and like you were a cocky little shit, and yeah, there was the one day that I'm traumatized, and I always bring it up, and I make sure I remind you every time I see you because you scarred me for life. And if I wasn't the thick-skinned kid that I was, I would probably like, I don't know, do something bad. I was gonna say shoot up the school, but
Chill,
no, we're not getting canceled.
You're about to get
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I walked up to like a group, like it was, so in the mornings before the school, we had to go inside, like before the school bell rang. Everybody would just hang out. Right? I don't know if it was the morning or lunch break.
For one thing, I don't remember this story at all. I pride myself in having a good memory, and
No.
I don't remember this shit. So for all I know, he could be making it up, but apparently he's not.
No, it was, I don't know, it was either during lunch break or in the morning. People were like, they would like huddle up and wait for, I don't know, the bell to ring so you could go inside. And I came into like the little group and I tried to like get in, like, oh, like what's everybody talking about? And then you were like, nah, Johnny, like go away, you're not cool enough,
dude.
And then I just like like sad boy just like walked away.
So I don't remember that. Okay. Again, guys, I don't remember that ever happening. If I did do that, that was a very different time in my life. I mean, I was 11, 12 years old.
In middle school?
Yeah. Well, how old are you in middle school? Aren't you that age?
No.
Yeah.
Well, actually.
Yeah, you're
really?
like 11.
Aren't you like 15 or is that high school?
Nah, dude, you're 15 in high school.
Damn, I really don't know.
You graduate at 18.
That's right.
So
I don't know.
I was young, right? I was a little kid. And the thing I remember, I think the thing that would bother me when I first met Johnny was, so there was this girl that I liked at the time, not gonna say any names because she's married now, and I don't want to, start any drama. But there was this girl that I liked in middle school, and her and Johnny were like always like friends. Like she was always like hugging him and stuff. So I guess he kind of pissed me off. Um, and I guess he came up to us that day, or I don't know what happened, and I guess I said that to him, but I like I said multiple times, I don't remember that. And if I did say that to you, I don't think I've ever apologized to you, dude.
No, dude. I think you need to do it now in front of everybody.
Yeah, you know what, dude? I do apologize for that. Like I said, it was a long time ago. Different kid, different time. It was. But what brings up a lot of things is bullying, right? There's a lot of bullying going on nowadays, and
yeah, rightfully so. Just kidding. No. No.
Luckily, you did have some thick skin, and I don't know. I guess you just kind of took it. But we eventually, and I don't know, we just ended up becoming really good friends. Maybe because I feel like I say a lot of dumb shit all the time, right? Anybody who knows me knows that, and I just say stuff sometimes, just joking around. Like probably like 90% of the time, I'm fucking around. Like there's no seriousness to what I'm saying. But for someone who just met me, it's kind of hard to like really, I feel like, comprehend that and get me. I think it takes a little while once you get to know me, and then you're like, oh, this guy was probably just fucking around, and I might have just been fucking around with you. But like I said, I don't remember, so I couldn't tell you if I was. Maybe I was serious. You're a piece of shit.
Oh man, yeah, it is what it is. Middle school. I think middle school kids are harsher than like high school, because high school wasn't bad. I think middle school is like where kids are like starting to hit puberty, and like it's brutal.
Yeah.
But yeah, in high school we got closer like our junior senior year around there, and then after we graduated, that's when we really started hanging out, like pretty like almost on a daily basis. We had a group of friends that we would like do stuff and hang out until you went to the military. You were in the Marines.
Yeah.
What age did you go to the Marines?
So I was 19 when I joined. I joined May 28th of 2012. 19 years old. I was actually supposed to leave right after high school when I was 18. But I did some things that got me kicked out of the pulley program, which is like the little program that you're in before you actually take off. And then this pulley program, while you're in there, you're kind of they're kind of getting you prepared for what you're gonna do in boot camp. So you PT, you do things like that, right? Mm-hmm. You do like functions, and you go to different schools, and you try to get other people to go in. So I hadn't even made it into the Marine Corps, and they kicked me out of that shit.
What did you do?
I don't know if I can talk about that on camera, because so it's all on my records and everything. But so right before I was supposed to leave, I ended up popping on a piss test, because so you take a drug test before you go to what's called MEPS, so you get processed, and then you ship out. So right before I was supposed to ship out and get processed, they wanted to make sure that I was clean. And they usually don't do that shit. They just do it to kids who they're like kind of iffy about.
Yeah.
And I've never really been like a big drug user. I didn't smoke a lot of weed, do a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was hanging around with some dudes, some older guys. They were just kind of doing different shit. And so I'd been doing a little bit of stuff here and there. And so I go to the station. They're like, hey, come in so we can do this drug test before you go out. So I go, and I'm in my head, I'm already like, fuck, dude, I'm not gonna pass this. Like, I already know. So sure enough, yeah, I show up, take a piss test, come out. They get the results. It was like one of those at-home ones that they have. Mm-hmm. Positive. And he's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, my recruiter, dude, he's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what do you want me to say, dude?
Sorry.
I'm like, so... he's like, you know what, dude, like, you're not gonna be able to go. Like, I'm gonna have to drop you. And I was pretty upset because I had a job that I wanted. I wanted to be in tanks. Um, and no, I mean, he kicked me out. They kicked me out, and they were like, "Nah, man, like, you're not doing." First off, I wasn't even going. They have like pulley functions where you're supposed to like go and PT, and you're supposed to go. Um, I think it was like every Sunday, every weekend, you got to go meet up with the recruiters, and
Yeah.
my recruiters would come to my house, and I would hide, dude, or I wouldn't show up, or I wouldn't open the door. I remember one time they showed up at school because they were like, "We hadn't heard from this fucking kid, and he's supposed to be leaving in a couple of weeks."
Yeah.
And I was in Miss Burnside's class actually, and
Shout out Ms. Burnside.
they came,
Shout out number 2.
they came out over the intercom, and they were like, "Hey, can we have Raul here, or whatever?" Asking for me. And so I'm walking down. I'm like, "Oh, I wonder who it is." So I'm walking down the hall, and I see it's the recruiters at the front of the office, and I just booked it, dude. I took off. I didn't even go back to class. I ended up going home.
What the fuck, dude?
And they were like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like, they couldn't get a hold of me. Like, they were trying to, and I think it was more because I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go.
Yeah.
I didn't know at that it's high school, like you're about to graduate. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I loved playing sports, and I wanted to play football too. And I felt like I could play somewhere, and I was like, man, like, is this really what I want to do? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was dodging them and doing all these things that I wasn't supposed to be doing, even though I was on going through that program. So yeah, man, I ended up popping on that piss test, and they kicked me out. So fast forward a whole year later, right? I'm like not doing shit.
Yeah.
Just, I'm 19, a year out of high school. I didn't even sign up for college or nothing like that. I'm home. I'm working, jobs here and there, but I don't feel like I'm doing anything. So I go back to the recruiter's office, and I'm like, talk to the recruiter that I had before. And I'm like, "Hey man, I want to join." And he's like, "No, like, you already had that shot. Like, you fucked it up. Like, no, man, like, we're not." He's like, "You're asking to join the Marine Corps. Like, we pride ourselves, in certain things, and you're not that. So I don't want to put you in, and then you go in there and just fuck it up, and then you're done, right? You get kicked out." So I was kind of upset. I was kind of down. I was like, fuck, like, they won't take me, and what am I gonna do now? And then I was like, nah, like, I'm not gonna take no for an answer. This is really what I at that point I was like, you know what, this is something I want to do. And I kept going back, and finally he's like, "Okay, you wanna fucking join? Okay, cool." So he had one of the I think it was like the station commander. I don't remember what he was, but he comes and talks to me, and he's like, this older guy, man, rough man, has probably been in 25 plus years, 30 years.
Did he have a mustache?
Nah, he didn't. So he's like, fuck, dude, a mustache.
I
What do you have
picture,
a mustache?
You know what I picture? Like this old, like retired, like fucking, like high tight.
Yeah, no,
and then like a mustache. And
no, he didn't. He was clean shaved.
Like a scar in his face.
Yeah, clean shaved. Rough dude. And I'm sitting on the couch there at the recruiter's office, and he comes in because they were like, "You got to talk to him, see if he fucking lets you join." So he comes in, and I'm sitting there, and he's like, "Are you the one that's asking to join and shit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's me." And he's like, "Well, they already told me you fucked it up once," like, and he's just like chewing my ass, dude, like going off on me. And he's like, "Why should I let you join?" And I'm just like, "Honestly, sir, like, I just, I fucked up, but I feel like I deserve a second chance. I fucked up. I've learned from it, and I'm not gonna make the same mistake again." So what he had me do was, he was like, "Okay, you got to show me that you wanna join." So I had to get letters of recommendation from different people. He's like, you need to get 10 letters of recommendation. And I'm looking like, who the fuck is gonna write a letter of recommendation for me, dude? Like, I have not been the best student, or
Yeah.
And luckily, a lot of the teachers were like, "I think this is gonna be good for you, so yeah, I'll help you out."
They probably just wanted you to like suffer and like send this guy to the fucking Marine Corps and like make him pay for all
So
the shit he did.
so they did, man. They gave me letters of recommendation. I think I even got one from the ex-mayor Art Franco. He
Shout out.
He wrote one out.
Wherever you are.
Coaches, you know, some teachers, and then I had to write an essay on why I wanted to join the Marine Corps. I couldn't miss any pulley functions. Like I had to go to everything. And I had to do a few other things. I don't remember exactly what. But it was a few things that they made me do, and I ended up proving to them that I wanted to join, and that's how I joined. I ended up being able to get in. And yeah, man, it was a great choice at the end. When I think about it, I'm like, man, I'm glad that I actually went back to the recruiting station, because I don't know what I would have been doing if I hadn't gone back.
Yeah.
But I was like super glad that I did go back, and it worked out.
Yeah, I don't remember you going through all that shit. I just remember like you just packing up and leaving one day. But that's crazy, dude. I didn't know that. And that sets you on this path where you're at now. You're a man of the law. I mean, not around this, not in this house. In this house, I'm the law. But out in the streets, you're the law.
I'm the law, dude. I run the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm in law enforcement.
How long? Damn, my voice just cracked.
Oh man.
How long have you been in law enforcement for?
So, actual patrol, I've been a year now. It's been a year. Actually, I think Christmas was the year anniversary for being out on patrol. I worked at the jail for, I want to say, 2 years. I think it was.
Yeah.
So 3 years. I've been 3 years with, I guess, law enforcement. 3 years now. Yeah.
And you like that shit?
Yeah, man. It's fun. It's a tough job. A lot of stuff. You see a lot of stuff. You go, you experience a lot of shit. But I love it, dude. I love going to work every day. It's a job where I wake up and I'm not like, fuck, I gotta go to work. Like, nah, man, I like going to work. We have a really good shift. All those guys that are on my shift we're pretty tight, man. We've kind of become like a brotherhood. Shout out to those guys. I know hopefully they're gonna be watching. They've been asking. So
yeah.
Yeah, man, it's cool to go to work with those guys, and we even hang out, on our days off sometimes, bring our families around, and we had Christmas parties, and we worked on Christmas Eve,
Mm-hmm.
And did a little gift exchange between all of us. It was nothing but alcohol, but but it was cool, man. I mean, like I said, we're all really close. We're actually tomorrow. We're going to Dallas. We're gonna be so there. I guess I don't know exactly what's going on. I think it's like a law enforcement appreciation type thing. We're gonna be at the Dallas Cowboy game on Sunday. They're playing the Green Bay Packers. And we're gonna be on the field doing like the whole flag presentation, and a few of us from the shift are going. Not everybody. I think it's 4 of us.
And they pay for everything.
So they pay for the ticket there, which is really expensive. We had to worry about getting there and just getting our hotel. But it was pretty cheap. We were splitting it between buddies. So
yeah,
me and my boy are gonna be staying in a hotel. We're sharing a bed. we got a queen.
You gotta save money.
I told him, dude, I was like, get a king, but he wanted to get a queen. So we'll be sharing.
I would have got with a twin.
Yeah, if they had twins, dude, I'd be down.
No.
So we'll be doing that. We'll be sharing a room, and then we'll be driving down there tomorrow. So I think we leave tomorrow like around 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And then we'll be there tomorrow. We'll do the game on Sunday, and then I'm flying back Sunday. We're flying back like at 11 o'clock at night. And then
you go back to work Monday.
Yeah, because we got to be at work. So we were gonna do originally was we were gonna drive back Sunday after the game, but we're like, man, first off, we don't know what kind of weather we're gonna get. Right? It's been kind of cold. It's been kind of crazy. We're like, dude, we're gonna be pushing it, like, and we're gonna be tired, And we're talking, and we're like, dude, we got to go into work at 6, so we're probably gonna get here like at pushing it like at 6.
So you're renting a car there?
Yeah, we're renting a car there and then flying back.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a last minute thing that we decided to do. But yeah, that should be cool. So if you guys, well, probably by the time the thing comes out, the game won't be over. But
who are they playing?
The Green Bay Packers. I don't like either team, but it's gonna be a cool experience just to be there. I've never been to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I heard it's pretty cool.
I went senior year for student council in high school.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. We didn't watch a game. We just did like a tour of the stadium. We went to the locker room and we got to go on the field. I have pictures of it, so I'll throw them up on the screen. And yeah, it's fucking huge, dude. It's nice. Yeah. Like it's really nice. I'd want to go. I'm sure when they do the World Cup, I'm pretty sure they're gonna play there.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be when is that? Because I know I definitely want to go to one of those.
Is it next year or the year after?
I don't know. Next year's an odd year, dude. I don't know if it's an odd year. Is it?
I think
because it's like every 4 years, right?
Yeah. Let's see, next World Cup.
Because I thought
2026.
But is that the one that's gonna be here?
Yeah, in the
U.S., Canada, Mexico,
North America.
Yeah.
So for sure they'll probably play in Phoenix. I'm sure they'll do one there and then in Mexico. Juarez probably.
Hey, dude, talking about that, the Locomotives are supposed to play FC Juarez.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that shit. That's gonna be pretty cool.
I've only gone to like 2 or 3 games and they get they're fun.
Yeah, they're cool. I think they play like March 20th or something like that. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Don't listen to me.
If you want to take me, I mean, I'm free.
But yeah, dude, the whole the World Cup would be cool. That's something that I want to go to. I would like to go to a game in Mexico though. I don't know about. I would want to go to a game here, but I think more somewhere in Mexico.
Bet you it gets rowdy over there.
Yeah, for sure, dude. That should be crazy.
Yeah. Damn. That would be crazy. There was something else I wanted to talk about. I forgot. That's why you take notes, kids.
I was supposed to write some notes, but I'd been working, dude, and I couldn't. Yeah. I hadn't really had time to really focus.
We were gonna shoot this episode like earlier today.
Yeah.
Originally, you told me like whenever. You're like, "Oh, I'm off Friday," and I'm like, "I'm off Friday too," so we'll do it like I don't know, noonish or whatever. And then you're like, "Oh wait, I gotta work a part-time."
Yeah, dude, I forgot about that. I completely forgot. And then after the part-time, I had the whole kids, and I was like, shit, it's going to be late.
That's how you don't have kids.
I know, dude, but I don't know how to pull out. I have a really hard time with pulling out. A really hard time.
Yeah.
And then the worst part is, okay, maybe I don't pull out, but I don't wear condoms either. So, which is good, though, because I've become immune to chlamydia, gonorrhea.
I don't think that's how it works.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
You become like a super STD.
Hell yeah, dude.
I just stay abstinent. Stay abstinent, kids.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were a virgin till you were like 25.
No.
That you were, dude?
I lost it pretty late. I was a late bloomer. I remember when you guys followed me to.
Oh yeah.
To Chapa. I was talking to some girl, and that was like probably like the first girl. I mean, that was the first girl that I ever did anything with, and I had met her when I was going to the community college. And you, Lee, and was Karina there too? Mm-hmm. You guys followed me, and you guys were like, because we were outside like chilling in my car, and you guys parked like down the street, and you guys were like, I don't know, trying to watch me. Like, I don't know what you guys were doing. Like privacy, bro. Boundaries.
I don't know what we were trying to do. I don't even think I was driving. I didn't have a car. I think it was either Karina or Lisa were driving.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know what we were doing there. We were kind of just waiting for you to see if you had done anything. I think we were more excited that you were finally gonna have sex, dude, because you had.
And I didn't. I never had.
Oh, sex. You didn't, huh? You didn't.
No, I lost it later on.
Yeah, we were like just like waiting. We're like, let's wait for him out here.
With balloons comes out,
shit. Make sure that he's good. But you came out and you were crying, dude.
No, yeah, it never happened. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a weird time.
Yeah, that was a crazy time. I'm never going back to Chapa. That place is cursed.
Yeah, fuck that place, dude. It's New Mexico, dude. New Mexico is just sorry, any New Mexicans that are gonna listen to this shit, but
yeah,
it's a horrible place.
This podcast is called A-Town Talks, not New Mexico Chapa Talks.
Yeah. So Anthony is pretty like unique in that, right? Because it's Anthony. There's an Anthony, New Mexico, and there's an Anthony, Texas.
Yeah.
And I think your house is like right on the like the
so,
border.
So
dude.
like 2 blocks down, there's the border, but yeah, Texas is just superior in every shape or form. We have lights, we have pavement, we have sidewalks. New Mexico doesn't.
Dude,
they don't.
And it's crazy because you go over those 2 streets and it's like night and day from how it is over here to how it is over there. It's crazy, dude. You go over there and there's like just wild shit going on. There's, you know, just chimpanzees like walking around and shit. Like, it's weird, dude. It's weird over there. We don't go that way. We just kind of stay on this side.
Yeah, and we don't like to affiliate with Gadsden High School, and it's like, I remember like just growing up, like it's always like, oh, like fuck Gadsden, get stoned, like they're idiots.
Yeah,
but it's a pretty big school.
Yeah,
and I think about it, like Anthony's pretty shitty. Like it's tiny.
So yeah, I think we graduated a class of like 28 students, something like that, right? It was pretty small, and I think the whole high school in itself had like
32.
Had like 200 students maybe at the time.
We were like 32 students, and yeah, we were like almost 300. It was like 290 some. I have a yearbook somewhere.
Well, we had 32 in the class, but 28 graduated, dude, because you have some fucking people who for you to flunk at Anthony High School, dude,
that is something.
God damn.
Man. And that's considering like there was like probably like 2 or 3 kids with special needs that graduated, and then like the other ones did it.
Yeah, dude, that was weird. You had a 5th year senior, you know, coming back. It was just, honestly, I like this. Anthony was cool, man. I really liked Anthony growing up here in Anthony because everyone knew everyone, right? You know, everybody's
small town.
Yeah, man, it's cool. Like we go out now. We haven't gone out in a while, but sometimes, you know, when we used to go out with people from other classes, and it was like everybody would just get together, and it was cool, you know, seeing everybody from different time that you probably never spoke to in high school, but you knew of them, and you can kind of like, you know, you see them and it's like, oh, what's up, dude? And it's like, you know, like you've been friends for fucking ever.
Yeah, the guys that go to the gym now, I go with Louis, Raleigh, and Olivas. We're like we got like a little gym group, and they were like different classes ahead of us, and I think Raleigh, he left to Gadsden like his senior year, so
yeah. So we're gonna cut him out of the podcast.
Yeah, you're
not mentioning.
Actually, you know what? Raleigh is the one that gave me the idea for the A-Town Talks. We were coming out of the gym, and I told him that I was going to do a podcast. He was like, what, A-Town Talk? And it kind of stuck with me. Because originally I had a different name, but it was, I don't know, I never liked it. But see, look, there they are. This is the group chat for the gym. But yeah, it's cool, small town. And I got to say, like, the friendships I've built from this town, like, I'm still friends with, like, well, obviously, like you, and then like Jermaine, Karina, Isai, like a lot of people, like for years, like 10 plus years, because we graduated in 11.
We're in 24, dude. So 13.
Damn, 12 years.
I don't know. I don't do math.
12 years. Yeah, too many concussions. Huh?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy because, yeah, you mentioned all these people and yeah, everybody's. I wouldn't say I'm like super close to them or anything, but I'm closest to you and Jermaine. But when I do see them, right, it's like we're, you know, we can just get back right to it. And it's cool, man, because even relationships that come out of here, dude, last forever, dude. I mean, there's people who started dating in middle school and now they're married and have kids, and it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's
incest, dude.
Almost.
There's a bunch of incest going on here at Anthony. I'm not gonna lie to you. No, I'm just kidding.
So I wanted to talk about the hunting trip that we did in 20. When did we go in 2020? It was during COVID, right?
I don't remember. It's on my Instagram, dude. I mean,
I think it was during COVID because everything was like. I remember like, yeah, it was during COVID because that town did not believe in COVID. The little town. Where did we go to?
we went to Rock Springs, Texas. It's about what, like 5-6 hours from here.
Yeah. I don't know. We were like the only Mexicans in that town.
Yeah, it was June of 2020.
Yeah, it was peak COVID. I remember.
Yeah.
Because we got there and like El Paso was like shut down, and everybody here was like wearing masks and it's like, oh, don't talk to anybody, like. And then we go to this town and then everybody's just like
nothing.
Nothing happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. So it was during COVID, and I remember, I guess everybody was just home, dude. And I was binge watching that show on Netflix called Meat Eater.
Meat Eater. You got me into it.
Yeah. And that show. So for a lot of people who haven't seen that, it's a show basically just about hunting, but it's a really good show because it shows not only like the hunting part, but what goes through like the whole process of hunting, where it's, the cooking of the animal, the killing of that, like everything from head to toe. It really shows everything. And yeah, it was during COVID, and I think I was just like, man, I'm just fucking sitting here, like I'm tired of being indoors. Like I want to go out and try this shit. Like it'd be cool to do. So I started looking around, and it's during June, so June's not big. Like it's not time for hunting. Hunting's usually done, in the colder months and wintertime, starting like September. You start getting like bird season, and then you go into like deer and stuff like that. So I kind of started looking, and it was June, and I found that there is something called axis deer here in Texas, especially in Rock Springs. So for a lot of you that don't know, axis deer are non-native to Texas. They're
from India, right?
I would have to check. I don't remember exactly. I was thinking like Africa, India, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Since these deer are non-native to Texas, you're allowed to hunt them year round, and there's really not many rules to how you can hunt them. And during the summer months is what's called they go into their rut. So the rut is basically where they start to breed. And that's when like the male deer like kind of go crazy, and they're chasing around the female deer and like the does, and so it was pretty cool. So
they're trying to get laid.
Yeah, they're trying to produce, dude. So it's like the peak time to go hunting because they'll respond to. I don't know if you remember, I had a call that you could fucking call.
Yeah, you were going like,
I was just moaning. So it's actually a really fucking loud call.
Yeah.
It
got me worked up.
It kind of sounds like someone's like screaming, like moaning, right? Like it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So anyways, I ended up looking into this shit, and I remember I messaged these guys, and I'm like, hey, dude, you guys want to do this? Like, I found this little property that's charging, it'll charge us this much to go and hunt these axis deer. I'm like, if we don't get anything, like at least what we get out of it is like the experience, just kind of get away from everything that's going on during COVID.
Yeah.
And I didn't think you guys were gonna say yes. I was like, oh, if anything, I'll probably just go out there with me and my dad. And no, I guess you guys are probably going through the same shit that I was going through during COVID.
Well, I mean, we had nothing going on, really. I think I was laid off from work, and I was like, fuck it, I might as well go try to kill something before I kill myself. But that was your first hunting trip also, right? You had it. We were all hunting virgins. And
oh, yeah, dude, it was a fucking mess.
You and me. So you and me carpooled, and we get there like a day, and then Jermaine was gonna hit us up also, but he showed up later because he had his I think Elian's high school graduation.
Oh yeah.
So he said he's gonna just drive after the graduation. So Jermaine drove like overnight, and granted, this is an area where you go like in like trucks and like 4-wheel drive.
Dude, it's bad.
This motherfucker shows up in his Camaro,
and it's dark, dude. Like it's dark. You can't see there is no lights during the nighttime. Like you can't see shit, dude. Yeah. It's fucking dark. And the road wasn't good, dude. My truck was like
big ass rocks everywhere.
I was scared to go with my truck. Like I was like, oh fuck, this motherfucker
shows up in his Camaro. And like we wake up in the morning because we stayed like in this little shack, probably like the size of my room. It was tiny. Like there was a couple beds, and then we just bunked in the floor. And wake up, and then we're like, well, this fucker never showed up. And then there's no cell phone signal, so you can't call or anything. And we're like, this guy didn't show up. So we get out, and then we look around, and we see his Camaro there. And I'm like, well, we look inside the car, and he's not in the car. And we're like, well, where the fuck is he? And this guy slept inside one of the blinds that was like connected to the shack.
Yeah.
Inside, and we look inside the blind, and he's just there like freaking caveman with his beard and like his hair all. But he showed up, and that was a fun trip. I was thinking like we need to do another one because I would want to like, make a video now that I'm into like this shit. And actually kill something because you've actually become a successful hunter since.
Yeah, dude. So that was like the start of like let me go a little bit. When we were doing one of those, when we were at that hunt, I actually called in a deer that one of those nights, right? But we didn't know. I mean, we didn't know shit about hunting, man. We didn't know that you weren't allowed to be eating out there and that they had like really good scents and things like that.
We'd be like eating chips.
Yeah, I was like eating chips, dude, in the blind and like making all this fucking noise. So, anyways, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'm calling, dude, calling, and there's this deer that's responding to me, and he's responding back. So I'm trying to get him to come in. I don't know how far he was at the time. He was probably somewhere else on another property. So I was calling, and at that time, I think you and Herma ended up passing out. Like you guys were tired. You guys just fell asleep.
Yeah.
And finally, I can start hearing him. He's like in the bushes, like maybe about 100 yards from where we're at. And I start hearing him. He's starting to get closer, and I'm like, oh shit, he's actually coming. So as he's getting closer, I had a red light. And you're allowed to, like I said, they're non-native species, so you're allowed to do. There's not really many rules with these you can do with these deer. So I put my red light on him, because usually you're not allowed to do that shit.
What's a red light? Like an actual
like
red
a
light?
Spotlight, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had a red spotlight that I shine on him. And I have the light set up to where it's right at him. He can't. So and red light doesn't bother him, so he doesn't know what's going on, right? Mm-hmm. And as he's starting to come out, Herma starts waking up a little bit, and then he's like kind of like fucking moving and shit. And I'm like tapping him like, shut the fuck up. So he wakes up and he's like, what? And I'm like, I'm like telling him to be quiet, like whispering to him. And he's like, he fucking moves and he knocks my lamp down, dude. And my lamp falls, and then I just hear this deer just take off, running. And I'm like, you stupid motherfucker, dude. Like, I've been up. It's 3 in the fucking morning. I've been working on this thing for like 2 hours. Yeah. And you just fucked it up in like a matter of seconds.
The thing is that wasn't the dumbest thing he did on that trip.
Oh, I don't know if we can.
PETA will come after us.
Yes, dude. I don't know what the rules are for doing that. So I don't want to say it because then fucking
Well, he ended up doing something really dumb, and I don't know. It was hilarious, but
what we did learn is not to take him or his brother outdoors.
Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah, so
I'm surprised they even like became Marines and.
Oh shit, dude, they're horrible. It's horrible. But yeah, I mean that was a fun trip, dude. Actually, I was actually thinking about it when I went hunting in, what was it? I think October or November. I don't remember. It was sometime last year, and so I became really big on archery hunting. Like I love archery, dude. Like my bow is like, it is so fucking relaxing when I shoot that thing, man. It's kind of become like a meditation thing for me. Like if I'm feeling a little bit stressed during the day, I'll go out to the side of my house and I'll shoot my bow at my targets. And I went out and I
did you take your kid with you?
Yeah, I took my son. Yeah. I took my son, my 5-year-old son. It's kind of surprised he did fucking amazing, because you have to be like really quiet, and 5-year-olds can't stay quiet for shit, right?
I mean, 30-year-olds.
Yeah, dude. No So yeah, but he did good, man. Yeah. And I was thinking, I was like, man, like, wouldn't it be fucking cool to like film some of this, like some of this shit that goes down, like
Mm-hmm.
because it's like really good experiences, like just being out there. You know, when we went out in that time in June, I mean, it was cool, man. We had a great time. My dad went with us.
Your
El
uncle,
primo,
little primo.
el
Oh
primo.
yeah, primo.
But he was my uncle. He went out with us, and we had a good time.
Yeah, I remember on the last day. So the other thing with hunting is like the timing that you go to. You got to set up at the blinds. You got to do it like early in the morning and then like or like late at night. Because during the day it was hot as fuck. It's like hot summer day. Like no animal comes out during the day. On the last day we had like a cookout during the day and we had a couple of beers and it was time to go. Like, all right, well, we gotta go. It's our last night to go hunt, so we were gonna go set up in the blind. But yeah, we had a lot of beers that last day.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't even think we woke up like on time or anything
No.
like that. So
No.
and that was just like that was our first time. So I mean, we were new to this shit. We didn't know about it.
Yeah.
We didn't know what it took to be able to be successful on a hunt. But I've been doing it since then, and I've learned like so much, man. I did one in Arizona with one of my uncles from Arizona, that one was really cool, man. Because that one wasn't like sitting in a blind; it was like a spot and stock. And I went on a bow hunt for that one, and
What does that mean? Is that where you actually like?
yeah, dude, we were
You have
out
to-
there like walking, looking
Yeah.
for shit. We're using our fuck, what are they called? I was gonna say our magnifying glasses. Our binoculars,
Oh.
dude.
GPS?
Yeah, we're
You get the coordinates of the.
sitting at a hill, fucking trying to find things, deer, and that one was really cool. I really liked that one. That was a great experience too with my uncle who took me out there, who lives in Arizona. He invited me and we had a great time. And since I've been doing it, dude, I love it, man. It's really peaceful when you're out there, with no cell service, just you in the fucking wilderness, and you're trying to kill an animal who's really, lived their whole life escaping predators.
Yeah.
It's a challenge, dude, and I think that's why I fell in love with it so much, because I love challenges, and that for me was, it's one of the biggest challenges that I've had, and you don't always come back successful, dude. I mean, it's one of those things where you kind of have to accept, like, fuck.
Even like pros.
Yeah,
There's
dude.
people that like because a lot of the times you have to win a lottery to get a tag or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's like a drawn system. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't, I mean, you go out there and sometimes you don't get shit, and that's it.
Mhm.
Like you're out of luck. Like
Yeah.
back of the line.
And so this last one that I went on, dude, it was so it was a weekend hunt. It was like Friday through Sunday. So you would do a Friday afternoon one, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, and then a Sunday morning. And it was just the luck of the way things went that weekend, but it was fucking windy. And wind is not your best friend when you're out there, because deer don't like to come out in the wind, because when the wind shifts on them, the way they can tell, like, if there's a predator around or somebody, is their scent. Their
Mhm.
scent is like they rely on that, like we rely on our eyes, right?
Yeah.
So when the wind's really bad, they don't like to come out because they can't get a good scent of what's happening.
Mm.
And the first day, which was Friday, we didn't see nothing, man. I mean, we saw them, but they were really far and they weren't really getting close. And like I said, I was bow hunting, so max range at bow that I had practiced was about 40 yards. Second day as well, we woke up in the morning. We were out there by like 5 in the morning, to me and my son. And we would sit till about 9 in the morning, because it would, it starts getting a little bit hotter. They don't want to come out. Didn't see anything Saturday morning or Saturday night. And so I remember that Saturday night, once we got back to the RV that we were staying at, we're just there kind of having dinner, me and my son, and he starts crying. He starts crying at the table, and I'm like, and it wasn't like a tantrum cry, like it was like he was really sad, and I was like, what's going on, dude? And he's like, we haven't got anything. He's like, and tomorrow's the last day. He's like, are we gonna get anything? And I'm like, man, like, it hurt me, dude, because I'm like, shit, like, I know how he feels. Like if I was frustrated, I could tell how he was really bad. He was really down about it. And he's like, we've been doing everything. He's like, we've been doing everything. We've been getting up early. We've been quiet, like, and we just haven't had, any luck. And he was just like really sad. So I tried telling him, I'm like, look, tomorrow's a new day. I looked at the weather. It shouldn't be windy. We should have decent weather tomorrow morning. And the next morning, which was Sunday morning, was our last chance. Like we weren't gonna get another shot. I was like, if you stay quiet, if you don't, we keep doing what you're doing. I was like, you're doing a really good job. If something comes out, I'll promise you. I'm like, we'll get it. So sure enough, we're there Sunday morning, and we were gonna have to stop hunting around like 9:30 ish, and it's like 9, dude, and still nothing's came out. It's fucking 9, and I'm like, fuck, man. And then out of nowhere, this nice 8-point buck comes out, but he's moving and he's not slowing down. So I'm able to get a range on him to see how far he is, and he's like at 50 yards. And I've only shot at 40, dude. I've only been shooting archery for a couple of years, so and that shit's hard. No matter how hard I practice, how much I practice, it's really hard. So he's out of my range, and I'm like, fuck, man. And he's moving, he's not stopping. So he kind of passes us, and then I'm like, fuck. And then he comes back, but this time he's like at 43 yards, and I'm like, if I don't get a shot on him right now, like he's gonna take off, and I'm not gonna see him again. So I end up taking the shot at 43 yards. And dude, when you draw back your bow and you're looking down your sight, and so bow hunting is really, it's one of those things where everything has to be perfect, dude. Like you have to make sure you're anchored on your chin right, your release is proper. You want to hold the bow with your back muscles and not your arms, because then you'll get tired. So everything's got to be perfect. You got it's got to be level. Like it's so much goes into it. And when you have that deer in your sights, nothing else in the like there's nothing else in the world that matters. It's just you and getting that shot off and killing that deer. So I shoot it, and immediately when I shot it, I knew it was not a good shot. Something didn't feel right. I was like, fuck, man, it didn't come off good. It hit him because when I saw him take off running, he had the arrow sticking out. And I was like, nah, that didn't hit him. I couldn't tell where exactly because it was so fast, dude. He just took off. So we waited. I waited a few minutes. I was like, you know what? It wasn't a good shot, but he might be bleeding enough to where he died. So I gave it like an hour. So we finally go out and we go look. I find my arrow on the ground, probably about 50 yards down where we were hunting at, into like the woods. And there's no blood on it, dude. There's like flesh, but there's no blood. And that's like really bad. So I started trying to track to see if there's any blood or anything like that. And no, dude, there was nothing. There was no blood. That deer ends up, so we ended up leaving that day, right? And I felt horrible, dude, because I had, promised my son, that I was going to get it. And I felt like shit. And not only that, but I wounded an animal that, I wanted to kill. Like, I don't want to just, shoot animals and wound them.
Yeah.
But that's how, it goes like that sometimes. And a couple of days later, after we had already left, it was like maybe like a week later, that deer pops up on camera again. And I have pictures. Maybe we'll upload them on here. That deer pops up on camera again, and you can see the hole where I shot him. And I shot him right in the shoulder. But he was fine.
That's where you typically want to shoot, right? Like,
so you want to shoot right behind it, and because that shoulder is, it's muscular, dude. And you might be so with a gun. If you had a rifle, you'll get through. You'll break that shoulder. You'll tear it up, and you'll probably get a kill. With the bow, it's a little bit different. I hit nothing but muscle, and that muscle stopped my arrow from penetrating any deeper, and he didn't end up dying, dude. Yeah, penetrating.
Sorry, it was a really deep moment. You said penetrating any deeper. Damn, that's crazy. What about the first time you actually got a kill? Because I've seen meat eater, and a lot of the times when like these people, these first timers, they get a kill, like sometimes they even cry and shit. Like it's like very emotional because it's like adrenaline's pumping, and then you finally do it, and it's like a release.
Yeah, it's like kind of like sex, huh?
Yeah.
No, yeah. So the first time I got one was my son was, I think, 3 or 2, and I took him with me there too. But I used my rifle. I hadn't gotten into archery then, and I'm pretty good at shooting with a rifle, dude. So
yeah,
I'm like Chris Kyle. Yeah. So when I shot that deer, yeah, dude, the emotions that you get from that is like, it's amazing because you've waited, you've done everything right, and you finally get to kill this deer. And the coolest thing about it, man, is like you're not just killing this deer just to kill it, right? You're using it for food.
Yeah.
And that was even better. I have pictures of my son. I don't know if I'll post them, but I'll post some pictures of like the food that I made out of the deer and stuff like that. But like being able to share that with family, and they're like, "Oh shit! Like I didn't know deer could taste like this."
Yeah.
Like
it's like I hunted this.
Yeah. It's like, I guess you kind of go back to like, I don't know, like
it's like your
cavemen. Like,
yeah,
you
your
know
primordial instincts.
Yeah.
Like we're hunters by nature.
Yeah. So, and even when I missed this deer the last time, dude, like the adrenaline that was going through me I had never felt anything like that ever. Not even, I guess, because it was with my bow, dude. I couldn't like stop shaking, and I remember I'm sitting there shaking after I shot it, and my son tells me, he's like, "Dude,
why are you
calm
being a
down."
pussy?
he's like, "Calm down."
Like
and
you missed.
And I'm just like, oh man, like it's a crazy feeling, dude. It's something that I want to pass on to them and share with them, with my kids. And shit, I even like to share with you guys. Like I if I can invite you guys out there, I like to do that, because I think when you experience something like that, man, it's crazy. It's a really crazy feeling when you go through something like that. It's awesome.
I've only had one experience with killing an animal, and it involves my dad
scaring the shit out of an animal
and my dog. I won't go into detail, but
fuck.
Let's just say all dogs go to heaven.
Oh shit! That was that right there was not a. Dude, that was another thing.
My dad's got balls, because my brother, we had to put up one of my dogs down.
I don't know if it's legal, dude, but
yeah, actually, yeah, we'll save that story.
Happened like Old Yeller, dude. I've never seen that movie, but I heard something happens in that movie. So
damn. Wow, I think that's an hour.
Shit, that went by fast.
That did go by fast.
Yeah.
So I think we'll wrap it up there for this episode. Episode 1. We're trying shit out. I think it went pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a little nerve-wracking at first, but I think we loosened up, and I don't know, this is fun. I can see myself doing this for some time.
Yeah.
And improving. Our set here is very low budget, but I think we're already working on some stuff, and yeah, hopefully next couple episodes.
Yeah. I've seen pornos with lower budget than this, dude, and they get some good views, dude. So I think we'll be fine.
You know, it's all about the context and the substance, and hopefully you guys enjoyed what we talked about today. Yeah, stay tuned. Episode 2 will be out shortly after this one. So I feel weird because I want to say that subscribe and all that shit, but yeah, subscribe. Actually, comment if you like this shit. Comment any ideas or just feedback in general. If you hate it, let me know, and then I'll add it to my list. My 13 reasons.
My list of don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
What you say.
Yeah, I'll put it in my suggestion box.
No, but yeah, for real, like we would greatly appreciate the feedback, because this is our first show. And if you didn't like about what we talked about, then fuck you, don't listen. But, nah, for real though, we're trying to make it happen. So let us know, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. next show, I'm probably gonna try to get a handy from Johnny under this table.
Yeah, you can't see it. You can't.
No, you can't do.
Maybe it already happened. You never know.
know.
All right, guys. Peace.